We are live.
Thank you. Will, we can't hear you.
Oh,
Okay.
yep, I was on mute. You must say hi.
Okay, that's okay. She's getting big.
I know.
They have a habit of doing that. Councilmember O'Donnell, you're muted.
There we go.
Thanks.
Should be live.
Awesome. Okay. 7 o'clock. Call Ferrisburg City Council meeting to order tonight, Monday, November 16, 2020. Pursuant to Public Act 228, the Ferrisburg City Council will conduct its business via Zoom to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. Members of the public are welcome and encouraged to participate in this meeting. Members of the public are not required to register, or otherwise provide information to attend. Please utilize your mute function on your phone while on the conference call. When appropriate, Mayor Hoppe will run the virtual meeting like a regular meeting. There will be opportunities at the beginning and the end of the meeting for public comments. Remember to council members, for roll call pursuant to Public Act 228, each council member must declare their physical location by stating the city, county, and state. Roll call, please.
Mayor Hoppe,
Here,
City, State,
I apologize. City of Ferrisburg, County of Ottawa, State of Michigan. I was moving on.
Councilmember DeWitt,
City of Ferrisburg, Ottawa County, State of Michigan.
Councilmember O'Donnell,
Present from the great city of Ferrisburg in the county of Ottawa, state of Michigan.
Councilmember Carlson,
Present, City of Ferrisburg, Ottawa County, Michigan.
Councilmember Blease,
Here, City of Ferrisburg, Ottawa County, State of Michigan.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Here, City of Ferrisburg, Ottawa County, Michigan.
Councilmember Sias,
Present, City of Ferrisburg, Ottawa County, Michigan.
Okay, thank you. Moving down to item number 3, moment for silence. Please remember the families and businesses of our community that have been affected by COVID-19, and also thinking of all the men and women in uniform. And thank you. At this time, I ask you to stand to say the Pledge of Allegiance with me. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Moving down to public comments number 5. This time on the agenda is for any citizen to direct brief comments or questions to City Council. Time for public comments will be given when an agenda item is discussed. If you have a comment or question, please raise your hand to be recognized by the mayor. After being recognized by the mayor, please stand, give your name and address for the record. Proceed with your comment or question. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. I see that there's another attendee. Do the attendees wish to speak at this time during public comment? If so, please raise your hand. Okay, hearing none, we'll move down to item 6. Consideration approval of consent agenda. A, approve the November 2, 2020 City Council meeting minutes as printed. B, approve the schedule for the 2021 City Council goals.
I'll make a motion to support.
Support.
Motion support. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor stating aye. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Sias,
Aye.
Councilmember Carlson,
Aye.
Councilmember Blease,
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Donnell,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt,
Yes.
Mayor Hop,
Yes,
motion passed.
thank you. Moving down to item 7, new business. A, discussion take action if appropriate to approve the request from Mary Garbrack to waive penalty and interest for her 2020 summer tax bill. Communication that Mr. Bussinger, along with Mary had, is in your packet. Need to have a motion support for further discussion.
Your Honor, I would make a motion to deny the request to waive the penalty and interest for the 2020 summer tax bill.
Support.
Okay, motion support, further discussion regarding this.
Yeah, Your Honor, we've had several of these come before us because COVID, the mail, whatever. I don't see an appropriate reason to waive the fees and the interest.
Okay. Any other further discussion regarding this? And I would agree with Councilmember DeWitt. We have discussed this prior times, even with COVID and without COVID. And we have not set a precedence for this at this time. So hearing no further discussion, roll call, please.
Councilmember Carlson,
Yay.
Councilmember Blease,
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Donnell,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt,
Yes.
Councilmember Sias,
Yes.
Mayor Hop,
Yes,
motion passed.
thank you. Moving down to 7B, discussion take action if appropriate to approve, not approve, a recommendation from the Planning Commission to amend the site plan for Hidden Dunes condominiums to construct a sunroom at 17907 Hidden Dunes number A in other locations if certain criteria is met. If approved, this will amend the Hidden Dunes condominium site plan previously approved in 1990. So we need a motion support before further discussion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll support it.
Motion support. Further discussion regarding this. I believe Terry, would you like to speak in regards to this at this time?
This is Jeff Buter sitting in for Terry. I'm the project manager for Home Pro.
Okay,
And they have already gained approval by the condominium association. I believe it brought that over to Craig here a while back. Do you have that in front of you?
yes, we do.
In the recommendation from the planning commission to accept?
Correct. Council was given that copy also.
Okay, so we're looking forward to having this passed so that we can build a sunroom on an existing deck there. We'll be replacing the deck with a stronger structure, of course, but it'll be the same footprint.
Okay,
We're looking forward for this approval so we can proceed on with the building permit.
okay. Mr. Bessinger, did Planning Commission, they were supporting this? Did they give support or their feedback, or Councilmember Blaze?
Yeah, we okayed it. It looked like it wasn't gonna add any, extra dimensions to the condos out back, their deck area.
Okay,
So it's basically the same dimensions, like an 8x14 sunroom. It didn't look like it was gonna be an issue to any neighbors or any visibility or any such thing like that. So the planning committee, was pretty unanimous for them to move forward to accept this.
okay, thank you.
Your
Any
Honor?
further discussion?
Yeah, I have a question for Craig. As I'm reading this, we're looking at a deck that is above ground, right? Like a raised deck? Now, what happens if somebody comes to us and wants to put a sunroom in on the lower level where the flooding occurs? If we approve it, are we liable for the damage?
No, this approval is only for to be on top of the existing decks. Anything that changes from that would have to come back before the planning commission and city council.
Okay, thank you. That was my only question.
Any other further discussion regarding this? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Belize,
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Donnell,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt,
Yes,
Councilmember Sias,
yes,
Councilmember Carlson,
yes,
Mayor Hop,
Yes,
motion passed.
thank you. Moving down to item 7C, discussion to take action if appropriate to approve the bid for a 2022 Peterbilt single axle cab and chassis straight truck and equipped to outfit the vehicle with snow plowing for $165,782.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Support.
Motion support. Further discussions regarding this purchase?
If nobody else has anything, I have a couple questions.
Okay,
We're gonna take two of those internationals off the road and put both Peterbilts on? Or are we gonna keep there?
We'll keep the internationals. We'll keep 2 internationals and then we'll have 2 Peterbilts that we'll use for snow plowing.
So how many internationals we have now?
We have 4 dump trucks. We have three internationals.
So we'll have two and two. Right?
I'm sorry.
We'll have 2 Peterbilts and 2 internationals.
That's correct. We'll sell 1 international when this one's brought in.
The question I got also, is this gonna be set up for with the salt thing in the back?
Salt spreader, yes,
So we're 100%, both Peterbilts are set up for plowing and salt now.
that's correct.
This is approved, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right, I think we're making a good choice going to Peterbilts instead of those internationals.
this
Thank you.
funding is also available in their account, correct, for purchase?
I'm sorry.
The funding is available
Yes, it is.
for purchase.
But just a side note, this is gonna bring that fund down, draw it down quite a bit.
Mhm.
And then we'll have to work on the millage renewal for next year for the vehicle replacement.
What will the balance be when we're done with this particular thing?
If the dump truck is approved, it'll bring about down to 200,000. And if the ATV is purchased, that would bring it down to about 150,000. Any proceeds we would sell from the 1 international will go back into this account though.
Okay, now, I hate to hog all the time here, but now, we had the inspection done on the fire truck. Maybe Tim could address this, and we bought some time on that, on the truck that we were thinking about replacing. Didn't that get tested and approved for another 5 or 10 years or something? Maybe Tim could address that. I don't recall the exact thing.
That is correct. As long as we can get parts for 721, it's working just fine. It's had all its tests this year.
Now, is that something we are mandated by the government to replace?
Purchasing new vehicles.
No, the fire truck, is that something we're mandated to replace because of the age?
No, it's
Okay.
the workability and the availability of parts. But it just had brand new tires put on this year. The pump is working fine. The tanks are working fine. No major leaks, no major issues with it.
Well, my concern is we're looking at $500,000 to $750,000 to replace that. And I've been advocating for cutting back on some of the spending in the equipment fund because we don't know if it's going to get renewed or not. It comes up next year, I believe. So, but in this particular instance, I think it's a good choice and a good purchase.
Other council members' feedback, ideas, suggestion, questions. This is a large purchase for the department.
I have a question, Your Honor, probably for
Yes.
Craig or maybe Tim knows as well. Is there a need for two new trucks? I mean, why are they more in demand now than they were? I mean, we're keeping the two internationals, but then adding the two Peterbilts is what's the need, I guess?
So we've been working on a replacement schedule for the dump trucks every 10 years. And so we put in the capital improvement plan to do that. And with the use that they get for snow plowing and salt in the streets, we want to make sure we have dependable equipment out there to be able to do that during the winter months. Once we get these two Peterbilts going, we've been discussing whether we might sell two internationals and just go down to 3 dump trucks. But we always want to have some spare in case something happens that we can still plow the streets. Right now, it's typically a 3-truck process to plow the streets. We have the plow and then it goes down the center, then the plow goes down the side, and then the salt truck follows. When we get these Peterbilts equipped with the junior wing, we'll hopefully be able to do one truck will be able to do one side of the city and another truck will be able to do the other side of the city and get it done sooner.
Keeping everyone safe at that time.
Your Honor,
Yes,
if I may, just so the rest of the council knows, these internationals that we've had have been a headache for the last 10 years. It broke a lot. They're not reliable. And we went to the Peterbilt on the last one. I talked to Matt briefly. He loves it. It's by far a better truck and a lot more dependable and comfortable for them to use. So I would not be hesitant to replace those internationals. And fortunately, last time we did, we put one up for bid, we got a decent price for it. But, so just throwing that out there because those internationals are not a dependable truck. We've had lots of repairs on them.
we had similar conversations with the DPW supervisor also. So I would be in support of a new purchase for the department. So any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Donnell,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt,
Yes,
Councilmember Sias,
Yes.
Councilmember Carlson,
yes,
Councilmember Blease,
Yes.
Mayor Hop,
Yes,
motion passed.
thank you. Moving down to item 7D, discussion take action if appropriate to approve a proposal for Polaris Sales Incorporated for $46,795.44 for a Ranger Crew ATV with tracks. And earlier today, Chief Oldhoff did send out information with the new additions to the quote. I'm hoping everybody had an opportunity to review it.
they raised the price to 48 something, didn't they?
Yes, 48,212.
So for motion support, we need to make a correction into what that purchase amount would be for.
What's the new figure, Craig?
$48,212.10.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the Polaris Sales Inc. for new Ranger Crew ATV with tracks, 48,212.10.
support,
Motion support. Okay, further discussion around this. Because I know the fire department has been looking for doing something like this for a while, and especially with Ottawa Sands being added into our jurisdiction too to help monitor. So, Councilmember DeWitt?
I guess I have a question for Tim. you guys want this for rescues out in Harbor, out in, Coast Guard Park, in the Parkway, Ottawa Sands, Ottawa Dunes, such what? How many rescues have we actually had out there in the last couple of years? Where we've had to haul people out?
I've been on two rescues myself where we've had to walk back into the dunes and carry the person out, and that's very, very labor intensive. However, this vehicle will not only be able to be used as a rescue vehicle, but as a firefighting vehicle. So if we have a fire out in the woods, we can get out there to and get it taken care of easier. It is street legal, so we're not going to have to trailer it. The chief, I talked with him earlier today, and he stated that he went with Sergeant Kick and the one that Ottawa County has, and they seem to go anywheres out there. And talking with the fire department in Marne, you put the tracks on it, and they said there's really no stopping it. It'll go in the snow, sand. So I think this would be a very excellent purchase. Also, we could, it's being small enough, but we could also use it perhaps on the 4th of July parade as a vehicle downtown to get through the crowds.
Okay. Councilmember Carlson, you have your hand raised.
State Park has one, has a ATV presently. And I read in the handout that City of Grand Haven does. Does the State Park have one, Craig? Do you know?
No, I do not know that.
Okay. Is this what we had talked about going in halvesies with Spring Lake Township on?
There has been discussion in the past, this has never materialized.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, in reference to that, the ATVs that the state has and that the City of Grand Haven have are not tracked vehicles. And I believe 2 years ago, we had a downed skier out in the, way out in the North Woods. And we tried to go out there with that vehicle and it would not go through the snow at all. The other nearest one with tracks is Marne. So with us having this vehicle available to us, we can get out there quickly, get the person or the problem taken care of.
So I just,
Any other discussion? I know Councilmember Montgomery, did you want to say something?
yeah, it just seems like a huge purchase for a what if or something that I don't know. I'd feel more comfortable, like Councilman Carlson said, if there was another community that was interested in partnering with us.
Mr. Bussinger, is this something that Chief Oldhoff has experienced or has participated in conversations with
Yes.
either with Spring Lake Township?
Yeah, there was some discussion. I'm not sure how far it got, but some of the basic questions were, where's it going to be stored? How's it going to be used? Who uses it? Who maintains it?
Okay.
Those are some of the questions that never got answered.
Is there money available in the fund? You said earlier that there would be to cover this purchase.
Correct.
This is something I know Chief Oldhoff has discussed in the past, kind of like on his wish list, I believe.
Right. This is something that we've discussed for a number of years. Ever since that down skier had a hard time getting him out of the North Ottawa dunes. There's been discussion on getting an ATV. Last couple of years, we put it into the capital improvement project. If you look at it, it was included in your packet. We had budgeted to purchase in 2024. They've been working on getting some quotes, and they just want to pull the trigger a little sooner to get this vehicle.
Mhm. Okay. Councilmember Carlson, you had your hand raised. Wait, I know that you were in a conversation that was going on behind the scenes, so I'm not certain what that was about.
I was just questioning whether or not, how it fit into the fire department's budget, or if it was gonna come out of the motor pool fund.
The motorized equipment. fund,
Yeah, yeah,
That fund.
okay.
Yes, Councilmember DeWitt.
I wonder if we shouldn't table this for the time being and perhaps talk to Ottawa County, because as I'm thinking about this, most of the rescues are either in Ottawa Sands or the new county park. It would be, to my mind, advantageous for them to kick in a percentage or half or whatever. As far as who maintains it and stores it, that's all, I think, I wouldn't be opposed to Ferrisburg saying, hey, we'll store it, we'll maintain it. But the biggest possibility of using this is in the county park. So therefore, I think that perhaps we should enter into discussions with the county to see if they'd be willing to kick something into this, because this is going to deplete our equipment fund down to what, about, as I recall, about 125,000 in there after this truck.
If this purchase was made, we bring it down to about 150,000.
115.
150.
Okay, 150, which is still, not a lot. I think I would like to see us table this, and perhaps the chief could talk to Ottawa County and see what we could do, if they'd be willing to kick in, because like I say, 99% of the time, something happens, they're going to need this vehicle. It's going to be on county property, one of the parks, possibly Coast Guard Park, but mainly I would think the two county parks, out of the Sands and out of the Dunes. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, even if they just covered the track, the cost of the upcharge for the tracks, since that we need those tracks primarily for their parks.
Okay, so I'm hearing with Councilmember DeWitt and Councilmember Montgomery. What are the other council members' thoughts at this time?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I know discussions have already gone on with county and city, and the chief is very opposed to anybody else getting involved with this because of the logistics involved. If we table it, we're getting into the season where it may very well be needed in the next couple of months, and it'll take 90 days to get it. I think it would still be advantageous for us to purchase it. It's ours. We got control of it. There's no logistical problems. And right now we currently have nothing to get back into Ottawa Sands or Coast Guard Park. And I can tell you from having to hoof it, carrying somebody for a few miles through the woods, up and down those hills, through those trails, you'd be saving a lot of time and manpower.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments or questions? Yes, Councilmember, please.
Mainly a question for Tim. I mean, like Councilman DeWitt, had a comment that's like North Ottawa Dunes is county land. Ottawa Sands is county land. Does it really make a difference if it's county land or Ferrisburg land? If we're the closest to respond, it doesn't really matter, right? I mean, the closest to respond would be us because we're right there in Ferrisburg.
Correct. We are responsible for the response to Ottawa Sands, regardless of what happens. And if we had to rely on another department to bring us their unit, time is very critical when someone is down and injured, especially in the wintertime. You can die very quickly from exposure. And these tracks are not the regular Polaris tracks. They are the heavy duty tracks that we can use on the road. And they do not, they will last us probably the duration of the life of the vehicle, according to others that have that.
What is the life of this vehicle? Do you have any idea, Craig?
If it maintains, I would expect 20 or 25 years.
I'm assuming the chief takes very good care of his equipment, that it would have a pretty long duration of life. So any other conversations before we go for vote? Councilmember Sias.
Your Honor, Craig, is it possible for us to charge the county if we use our equipment to make recovery on their property? I mean, is there a way for us to recover some of the funds that way if needed?
The city would need to adopt a recovery ordinance. A few years back, that was discussed at the city council level doing that, but that was it was not approved because you know, we want to make sure residents are able to call for help and not have to worry about paying something to receive emergency services. So yes, the short answer is yes, it can be done, but we need to adopt an ordinance. And then that would fall, basically everybody in the city that would receive services would have be subject to some kind of cost recovery for what was provided.
Okay, but that cost would fall on the individual then? There's no way for us to charge the county those fees?
The property, I don't know if you go, how you word that ordinance, where you do the property owner or.
Okay. Understood. Okay. So that might be something to consider as well. But I kind of agree with Tim. I think, you know, the seasons are changing. It's going to start freezing out on the lake shore soon. And we definitely need some equipment that, you know, helps our firefighters do the best job, you know, they can possibly do. So, it'd be nice to get some profit sharing from the county and from the township, but I see that being, you know, just chasing our tails. And, you know, if we're going to do this, I think now's the time to do it. You know, we got the funding to do it now. So, you know, I would support it.
Do other communities have these? I mean, other local, like Grand Haven Township has pretty large, you know, wooded.
Grand Haven Township has an ATV as a 6-wheel, and
Okay.
it's not good. It won't go in the snow. Same thing with the city of Grand Haven.
We tried that a couple years ago with the down ski. Didn't work.
Okay. Any more conversations before we go for a roll call on this? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember O'Donnell,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt,
Yes.
Councilmember Sias,
Yes.
Councilmember Carlson,
Yes.
Councilmember Blease,
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Mayor Hop,
Yes,
motion passed.
thank you. Moving down to item 7E, work session and solicitation. In October 8, Mr. Bessinger provided us with information and also ordinances from multiple municipalities in the area to discuss. And then in this week's packet, we received information from the city attorney. So I know Mayor Pro Tem O'Donnell is the one that asked for this to be on a work session. So I will turn this over to you, sir, if you want to discuss this.
Well, Councilmember Sias had it,
Mhm.
he and his wife had a verbal conversation with one of these gentlemen, and did not go well. It also, I think it's a hazard to driving, especially where they're at. Having cars stop and block traffic, other cars wanting to go around. It's this is not a city where we should be having people soliciting.
Okay.
And so I just want to look at stuff like, maybe having to have maybe we can't stop it, but maybe having, in order to do it, have a permit or something of that nature. Or have the property owner's permission. I don't think we can do anything about the highway, but I definitely think we can do something about Leppings.
According to the city attorney, we have to be aware of the First Amendment, right? Freedom of speech. And also in here, he stated that it'd be necessary to be narrowly tailored to address an importance with a governmental interest. So said that he would be willing to consider this, but we may not be able to curtail it as close to what you're looking for. Because the ordinances, if we did, the ordinance examples that we had been provided by Mr. Businger would prohibit, these ordinances are not written to prohibit the solicitation at the interest of Leppings. So if council wanted to move forward with a draft ordinance, we would need to have an agreement with us of seeking legal support from our city attorney to move forward with this.
Isn't Leppings considered private property open to the public? I know that usually stores you have to get the permission from the stores in order to solicit funds, such as we do with the at Christmas time, with the different donations that are going on out there.
Right, with the way the example ordinances that we received in our packet from Mr. Businger dated from October 8, how those ordinances are written would not prohibit the solicitation. So that would be something that we would have to work closely with the city attorney if that is something that you would wish to move forward with. So I have Mr. DeWitt has his hand up, and so does Mr. Carlson. Councilmember Councilmember DeWitt, you had asked first.
I know they tried this in the city of Muskegon. There's always a guy or two or three on Laketon and 31 on the exit there. They tried to put a stop to it. It's public property. They couldn't. The same thing with Leppings. As long as he's on the right of way, I don't, according to Sergeant Kick, there's no way we can prevent it. To my knowledge, we could prevent him from being on the bike path. I think I'm correct in that. He has to be so many feet from the bike path, but he can be between the bike path and the road. If I'm not mistaken as to what Sergeant Kick told me. So I think this is an exercise in futility because I don't think, we're dealing with First Amendment rights here and all that. And the Michigan Supreme Court has already ruled that they have the right to solicit. I don't know, is wasting a bunch of city money and time on this is going to be any beneficial to any benefit to the city.
And we also have a solicitation ordinance in place, currently, correct?
We have a peddler
The
ordinance.
peddler one? Okay. Where before someone's able to go door to door, you need to get permission from the city?
Correct.
Okay. Councilmember Carlson, thank you for your patience.
I was just going to duplicate what names escapes me right now. Just talked about with the First Amendment up in Muskegon. That holds true, of course, in Ferrisburg as well.
Mhm.
Certainly private property owners can toss anybody off their land they want, which is what Lepinks can do. When somebody's in the private right of way or in the public right of way, there's not much we can do.
Right. So I'm
Your
going
Honor.
to add, yes.
I have something to say too.
Mhm.
You know, this whole thing is really unfortunate, and you know, I don't want to take anybody's livelihood away from them either. You know, if this is the only way that these individuals have to earn a living for themselves, I don't want to be in their way. I don't want to take away their amendments. You know, it was something that happened to me personally, and you know, and I'm just worried about it happening to other citizens in our city, you know, and you know, but I don't see us pushing this issue any further if, you know, we're gonna have to, you know, go after, you know, legal, you know, action, or, you know, it couldn't cost the city money. You know, I just say leave it away personally. So that's my opinion.
Okay. Anyone else have a discussion, question, comment? So does council want to move forward and have a draft ordinance created
I think we should
and
do it.
directing staff to be in contact with the city attorney? Or is this just something that we'll put on the back burner and readdress at a later date?
Why don't we do it on a roll call?
Do it, I'm not understanding.
Get an opinion on the roll call.
Okay,
Everybody, and then we got a handle on it.
okay. All right, so do you, this would be a question that I'm going to pose to council members. Do you wish to move forward with the solicitation ordinance? Roll call, please. No,
Councilmember DeWitt,
Oh, just a moment, Mr. Bliss. I mean, Mr. Bessinger.
So we're in a work session item here. You can poll the council and get a consensus, but I'm not sure we want to take a vote on this.
Okay, all right. So I'm hearing a couple people that said yes, per se, and others are saying they don't really care. So
Let's
how do
just
you want to
poll-
do it?
Let's just poll the council and then we can give direction to staff from that.
Okay, council members, raise your hand if you want to move forward. Okay. At this point, we will set this aside. There was not a majority to move this forward. So thank you for the good, yes, Councilmember Sias.
Your Honor, I would like to thank Tim O'Donnell for supporting this,
Mhm.
you know, this issue, and, you know, thank you. You know, I guess, you know, I kind of jumped the gun on the situation. We should have had better legal advice and known before, you know, we brought it up, and next time maybe I'll talk to Craig before we do this. But I do thank you, Tim, for supporting me on this endeavor. Thank you.
I think that was very kind, Councilmember Sias, and I think as a council, working together, supporting each other, but then also supporting our community too that we represent. So thank you. So with that being said, we'll down to
Mayor?
Yes,
Yeah, I do just have a quick comment, I guess.
sure.
Yeah, I think that, you know, it's good to bring this up and get more people aware of it. And then, so if there is issues, then we can contact the police if there's other issues with other people with this thing. So I think and then if there's things we can do later to address if there's issues or anything that's going to be illegal, then we can move forward and get legal counsel on what we need to do.
Mhm. Okay, thank you. Okay, hearing nothing more, we'll move down to public comments. 9, Is there any public comments? I'm seeing no attendees at this time, only panelists.
They left.
So we'll move down to report, city manager.
No report?
Okay, we'll move down to council members that I see on the screen. Councilmember DeWitt,
No report.
Councilmember Bliss,
I do have the MPO policy committee meeting this Wednesday, November 18th by Zoom at 1:30, so I plan to attend that. End of report.
thank you for participating in those meetings.
Mhm.
Moving over to Councilmember Montgomery. You're muted.
You're on mute.
Sorry.
Mhm.
Your Honor, you gotta give a reminder on the city goals we're submitting.
The city goals, there was a timetable that was in the packet,
We have until the 1st to submit them.
December 1st, correct. So my recommendation would be to hold this schedule close by so we can stay on task. Good point.
Other than that, I have nothing.
Okay. Councilmember Carlson,
Kitchell Linquist Dunes Preserve Board meeting tomorrow night, virtually 6:30. And can we also be mailed this year's goals?
okay.
The city council goals, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
Mhm. I'm assuming on an email you're referencing?
Correct, email.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to make sure sometimes people prefer a hard copy elsewhere. Councilmember Sias,
Yeah, just a reminder, the beautification holiday decoration contest is underway, and I think we have the applications at City Hall. Everything's ready to go. And I want to thank Lep Pink's and Tony's Pizza here in town for giving donations towards that contest and towards the winner and award. So just a reminder. And I'd like to thank Debbie Waringa and all the ladies that helped last Tuesday on the polls. They did a phenomenal job. I know they put in a long day, and a shout out to them. Thank you. And that's all I have.
thank you. Mayor Pro Tim O'Donnell,
Just one personal item. The last 2 weeks, I've transported and treated over 60 COVID positive patients, and I am currently showing signs of it myself. I got a test today. I know probably in a couple hours, so I will be out of service, not responding to any fire or rescue calls for the next few days. End report.
stay healthy. Let us know if you need anything, please. Okay, I only have a couple of things on my report. A shout out also, I'm going to echo Councilmember Sias to Debbie and her crew. Had an enormous amount of ballots to go through. They were successful. So thank you very much for your hard work with that. Also, on the lines of COVID-19, I was just received information that they will be doing a test site tomorrow from 3 to 7:30 p.m. at the Ottawa County Road Commission site at 14110 Lake Shore, right in Grand Haven. So if anyone needed to be tested, that site is now currently available. Also, just a shout out to the Ferrisburg Recreation Commission, the participants that worked so hard with the Fire Barn Park community build that we conducted last year. So that involved Gene Gitchell, Martin Alexander, James Dean, Joe Kramer, Stephanie Raleigh, and Councilmember Blaze. The commissioners had collected donations from individuals, but also area businesses, and Commissioner Raleigh had successfully secured a grant with the Grand Haven Community Foundation. And with that grant, we received a full page recognition in the Community Foundation's 2019 annual report. So anyways, just a shout out to the Rec Commission. So, and also the Community Foundation for supporting our cause. And it's definitely been a worthwhile project. And the last thing that I have is wishing everyone a very happy and safe Thanksgiving that we will celebrate next week. So with that, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, support.
Thank you.
Or
Have a great
Support.
night.
see ya.
Good night.
Bye-bye.